What's going on, child? It's your most favorite diabetic YouTuber in the whole entire world, back with another video. Now today we are talking about how Raising Kanan season 4 episode 10 has came, slash season 4 in general has came, and honestly it opened a lot up, like, to all the questions that we've had. Who's Breeze? When's this gonna happen? How does this go down? Why is he this ruthless? Why, you know what I mean? Like, it really opened up a lot, slash left a lot of cliffhangers. Now I will be honest with y'all, this episode, it was kind of weak. Well, more specifically, we're talking about episode 10 of season 4. God dang, it almost got in a wreck. But episode 10, season 4 is what we're specifically talking about. But it kind of just leads into my whole theory of what's going to go down in season 5 and all that. And if there are more episodes, my bad. I just assume episode 10, that's kind of usually where they end this shit. So, yeah. But, yeah, we're going to be discussing my theories, my thoughts, and kind of what went down in episode 10 of season 4, Raising Kanan. But before getting any further, I say there's all love, no hate. Now, of course, I'm going to make my jokes, be brutally honest, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I'm typically in my arsehole, but if it's hate, beef, or anything crazy like that, I straight up admit it. But one more time, all love, no hate. Now, I hinted at it a little bit, but I'm just going to be honest with y'all. This episode, it was kind of weak until the end. Now, like, literally until, like, the last 15 minutes, that's when all the interesting shit went down. Because, it basically started up with setting up Kanan looking for answers. Rock kind of like, in the middle of her discussion with Neek still, Unique, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of was setting up a bunch of stuff. But then that last 15 minutes, that's where all of it went down. That's where all the craziness went down. So that's really where I'm going to be specifically, like, checking out slash talking about. But I will also admit, there are a couple things that happened in the beginning that were kind of interesting, slash, set a tone for what we might expect in the future. So like I said, Kanan is going around looking to find out who took out his girlfriend, when I think it's pretty damn obvious to everybody. Even if we didn't see it, you still would get the vibe once you actually, like, started hearing them talk and stuff. But we know it's Pop and Smoke, or Pop Smokes, whatever it is. Pops and Smoke. I don't even know if I got their names right. My bad. I'm just going to keep calling them Pop and Smoke, Pops and Smoke. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep calling them that. I don't know if that's correct. I really can't remember. I ain't going to do the homework, so yeah, I mean, we get that it's them, but then it makes it worse because they're kind of just making him, Kanan, go a little bit crazy, because Kanan trusts them for some reason and keeps going to them, asking them if they know information. But the way they are talking about, no, we don't want this on us. We don't want people asking questions. That little, like, tension slash energy shifting shit, it would have me all worried. I'd be like, hold on, now I'm thinking something's going on here, especially since you flip that and then go talk about how your mom is the actual problem, slash, Rock is the problem, and how you guys could all join forces, and etc, etc. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything about that is weird. How did you not sense, even if I wasn't in, I mean, I'm not in that street life, and of course this is all fictional, but and even if I didn't know, that little interaction, that little vibe, I would have got that on my radar and would have been like, nah, this is weird. But I only bring that one up as well because now Kanan has in his mind for sure that it's Rock. Rock is the reason that Famous is gone, the reason that his girl's gone. You know what I mean? She's the problem. So now that's going to be something that leads into, like, the later part, but yeah, they really got him all confizzled. But they do ask him to meet their nephew, I believe. Somebody that they know for sure. I believe it is their nephew. And we don't get a name, so we're kind of like, all right, who is this? Who's gonna be? Oh, is it always hinting that the new character's coming? Are we finally gonna get the dude? Which we do. Okay? Their nephew actually is Breeze. Now, we don't know if it's the Breeze, but I mean, with the Breeze, we don't know if it's that one, but we do know that we finally meet the character Breeze. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that's not how I was expecting them to introduce this person. And I don't know if it is the one, but just based off the little interaction we got, I'm already not, like, hype. Like, the way they made this person sound, they made him sound like a legend, like he was one of them rare-ass Pokemon, like he was a Mewtwo, like he was gonna be grimy, like he was gonna pop down. I don't know how I was imagining it, but I was imagining the interaction slash the first time we actually met him, it would be something insane. But it really wasn't anything insane. It was a calm, simple interaction, even though their whole vibe there too, Pops and Smokes or whatever they are, their whole vibe there too, before Breeze got there, was just all weird and off-putting. So I really don't understand why he's not getting the vibe, why he's not understanding that shit. And that might just be a character flaw that I just didn't notice on Order Kanan. I have no idea. Oh, and also in the beginning, Stefano, the Italian, my fellow Italian brother, he decided that he was going to cut Rock and all of them off, basically say it's time to move on. But then the other Italian dude, I can't remember his name, he basically met up with him and was like, oh, so now you're going to try to double cross me? I thought we were on the same side. And then for some reason, after getting bad energy and, you know, basically like FU vibes from the other dude, he decides he's going to shake his hand still. And then he got served up. Now, we really don't know if he actually passes away or anything like that, but we already know that it's not looking good. So I was gonna say, I hope my Italian brother survives, because honestly, I want to see more of the aspect of how the mafia is involved. You know, I like that aspect, and honestly, it seemed like there was about to be a big war between themselves, slash it was gonna intervene with Kane and Rock and all of them. So I'm just gonna say that right now. Okay, I really do want to see that. And side note, this one really isn't important to me, but when Unique and Rocker like talking, that was like one of the most random awkward conversations. She brought her brother Lou with her, and he just kept saying, yeah, you know, I was, and she was calling me daddy and shit, like, oh, he was on Hinge. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't know how they kept their cool, but I don't think I would have been able to, especially if I had a sister and the dude was saying that, like, yeah, I know I'm outnumbered, but I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. But I do like when they got out into the car, she goes, I'm gonna show this mup or who's daddy. That was pure comedy. That was perfect writing. I like it. But really, that's all that happened in the beginning part. That was like actually interesting or had any damn effect on this timeline or any of the story, because everything really went down after all the nonsense happened, after we met Breeze finally, which I'm still not too hype on right now, but changed my opinion. We'll see. But, you know, everything happens later on. Okay, so a war breaks out. Now, necessarily, I don't know for sure, but I believe it's between Rock and Unique, and which leads to Rock slash Lou actually kidnapping Unique's wife, baby mom, whatever she is exactly, and his son. Which basically means nothing good, because usually, in my belief, the kids, wives, etc., they should not be involved. They shouldn't be, you know, tortured. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be done, but it leads to it, which is basically like all that actually happens. Oh, excuse me, that was like a mid hiccup. But that's really like all that actually happens until you get to the last like 6 minutes of the episode, which shows Kannan show up to Rock's after I believe she was warned about him, but at the same time I don't necessarily know. But I'm just gonna say, okay, you see Kannan actually pull up to Rock and pull that thing out and basically start asking her a bunch of questions, and she's basically giving them answers, which we all know she's telling the truth, okay, obviously, but she's not making herself seem better. I'm just gonna say that. Like, if I didn't know the truth, or I wasn't understanding the actual vibes what Pops and Smokes were saying there, you're giving out there, you know, like, necessarily, I probably wouldn't believe her either. But apparently, slash allegedly, he takes her out. Now, necessarily, we don't actually see that, because the screen, it goes to dark, and all you hear is pow. So, I mean, it leaves you up with the assumptions, especially since we gotta wait for a whole nother season now. Now, necessarily, he might have actually done it. Alright, that might be like the storyline of season 5. He realizes that he did it for no reason. He thought he was getting back in blood for all the, you know what I mean? Like, he thought he was doing it the right way. But maybe he realizes something was actually going down, and that's season 5. Now, I really don't know for sure, and I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I don't think that he actually took his mom out. I I don't think he has the kahunas, first of all, which I know it sounds crazy because he ends up taking Juke out, but just hear me out here. I just don't think he has it. I don't think he could. I don't think, like, when it came to Juke, yeah, I believe he could, of course, especially at that time. I think he saw something in Tariq, like, you know, we could get on that whole conspiracy, but, you know, I just don't think he actually did it. Now, another reason I don't think he did is because, yes, we heard a pop, but we don't know if it was him, her, or somebody else. Now, my theory is somebody else came in. Now, I'm not going to say I know who for sure or what they actually did, but I'm thinking that they probably walked in there and bow. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, just to calm the shit down, first of all. And second of all, you know, like, just like to figure out what the hell is actually going on. Now, I have a theory that it's either Juke or Marvin. They come in there and they basically are trying to quiet it down, or, you know, it's a whole robbery. Which I know probably doesn't make sense, but you just picture that they came in there, give me all your shit, you know, quiet it down, both of them at the same, you know what I mean? Like, it might be something like that, just simple like that. But at the same time, I feel like it is Jukebox or Marvin. Or it could be anybody realistically, but, you know, I feel like it's somebody coming in there to calm down the scene, to make things a little bit, like, not too crazy, to figure out what the hell, why are you pointing, why you got that at your mama, like, you know what I mean, like, trying to figure out what the hell's happening here. And I don't think that she's actually gone, but at the same time, if she actually is, because, yes, he says something at the end, older Kannan, but that necessarily don't mean nothing. It could just be the cliffhanger of cliffhangers, because we are talking about 50 Cent here. Alright, I'm just going to say that. Now, if she is, then shit, she is. That was a quick story, I ain't gonna lie, but I just don't think that's how it ends. Alright, I think there's a lot we still have to get into until we actually get into, like, the power universe, like, you know, what is the, I forget what the, like, the young Tommy, young Ghost, I forget what that's gonna be called, but before we get into that, I feel like there's still a lot they gotta set up, so this is my theory. That's my theory on the whole thing. And honestly, I liked this episode. It was pretty boring till the end, but the end, it definitely caught my attention. And honestly, the season all around was pretty good. It had a lot of drama, less like violence and all that going on. It was real drama filled, which set the tension and vibes extra crazy. And I'm all for it. Now, I don't know if there is a season 5 or there are more episodes of this season, but I'm for it. I'm ready to figure out what the hell's going on here. And now that we finally got Breeze, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not excited, but I'm excited because I don't gotta keep guessing, wondering, and hearing people say that Unique is Breeze, because obviously he was not. All right, we knew that from the beginning. I mean, not from the beginning. Low key, I kind of thought that too, but y'all get what I mean. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Also in the comments, comment your boy make all kinds of videos. So comment you want to see, and yeah, that's all I got for the video. Peace.